Alright, hi everybody. Hope everyone's having a great Thursday so far. Mine is pretty good, as I say, can't complain. So let's get right to it. Hey Storm, good to see you right here at the beginning. I'm doing good, how are you? Alright, so yesterday I talked about us not needing this asset bundle build code anymore because we use the new Unity's new little window for it, so I went ahead and just commented that out. But today we're going to be starting on the ability select interface. So let's bring up the scene. Oh, you're good? Okay, good to hear. So what I want to happen is when you select any monster, some window will pop up here with all of its abilities. Okay, well, it's the same thing. I just checking what that warning was, but I knew about that from yesterday. Alright, so Unity's UI system is really good, so I don't see any reason not to use it. So I already have this canvas that I use for this kick player button. I don't even know if this still works, to be honest. Okay, it does, but I should move this script somewhere else, I think. Panel, is that the right thing? Oh no, we don't want an image, so we basically just want a rect transform. Okay, that's fine, I think. So let's rename this UI canvas. And this will be netcode testing. Am I thinking to have multiple monsters or just two? Yeah, there'll probably be quite a few on the field. If you're thinking about just two types, yeah, there'll be a whole lot of types probably. But I mean, we don't need tons of models for them right this second. So I want to remove this and move it here. And then I gotta fix that. Okay. Alright, so now that's all taken care of. So we can create another object here. I guess I should... I wish that there was an easy way just to create an object with a rect transform, but... Okay, and this will be ability select, and it'll actually be in the top right, I think. Let's be 2D. Okay, there we go. So how do I want to do this? I just want it to be top right. And I guess we do want to set the pivot there as well. Don't be down on yourself, Storm. Yeah, I'll take whatever monsters you can make, and we'll use them at least while we're still building the game. Okay, so I want to do a scroll wheel. It's been a while. Let's see if I can remember. Okay, and I think that anything that's inside the sliding area should be resized. You know what? Maybe because we did something like this. I feel able to make a robot in Godzilla. You're lucky. Well, it'll be good practice, regardless. Okay, so we did create a scroll bar in the chess game. I'm trying to think, would it be would it be worth it to go look at that? What time is it for me right now? It's 7:44 p.m. Okay, so it's Unity UI scroll bar. I know it's pretty easy, I just can't remember exactly how it works. I don't want a video for it. Let's guess I can just look it up. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Can I let you know when I get to 8? Sure. Oh, it needs to update to a newer version of Unity. That should be okay. I just want to go in and see what the scroll bar was. I guess while that's working, we can do some coding. Okay, so again, all interface stuff I'm going to try and keep in this UX class separate. So let's make a new class here. Ability, select, window. Okay, I'm gonna use this kind of as a way to test how I want to do UI in this game. Because, well, for one, it's not going to be the final UI. And, keeping that in mind, we're able to experiment a little bit. Actually, I don't think I want it to have that. This class will basically only know what it's given. Might need to be a mono behavior actually. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so this Tactical Lizard Tamer mono behavior is just the normal mono behavior, but it enables us to use some of these helpful functions just to subscribe to messages and things. Okay, so, well, there's a lot of warnings here. Oh, it's just because Unity changed some lines, but we don't need to worry about that. So we're in the lobby scene. I basically wanted to see how I do the mod list here. Okay, so scroll, rect, class. Oh right, in the viewport. Okay, I wonder why. Okay. Does it show here? Oh, right here, scroll view. Gosh, I just looked right past that. Well, I'll go ahead and copy this. Now let's open Tactical Lizard Tamer again. So, in the chess game when we did UI, it was kind of like the controlling classes in the game logic. Basically, like they would take fine control over the UI and set all the display settings. And I kind of want the UI to be more, I guess, smart in this game. So how I'm going to try and do it is the UI will actually just watch for events given by the game logic and then try to display things correctly that way instead of relying on the game object or the game logic to tell it what to do. The difference should be pretty obvious in a second when we actually get to programming, but I want to set up the objects here in Unity first. Alright, so scroll view. Okay, now everything's here. Okay, so we want it. It's already in the top right, I guess. Content. Okay, that's a little weird, but I guess it's just because there's nothing in the scroll view right now. So if I created a button here, oh, and then I need to add it right there. I thought that it would set this up itself. What happens if I create another button? Oh yeah, sometimes if you don't press enter up here, it doesn't save the names. Okay, so we can see the mask is working, and you can see the scroll wheel is kind of scrolling up and down. Maybe it's because I'm not in play mode, that it's not updating. That would make sense. Okay, so I thought it would... Oh, it's probably because I don't have a layout manager. I always forgot about that. Okay, yeah, there we go. And we want it to align to the... Well, it actually doesn't matter because the scroll window should fit the size of the buttons. But just in case. And yeah, we want a little padding, let's do 8 pixels. So why does this have a negative position? Alright, so it looks fine. Alright, and these are grayed out now because these values are all controlled by the content or the layout manager. Okay, so let's make a long text here and see if the window will expand in width. Okay, can't type test, it seems like. Okay, and it's not. Parent has type layout group. Okay. But I want this window to expand to contain the entire text. Okay, maybe I need to turn off overflow. It doesn't make any difference. But I don't want it to wrap, that's for sure. Okay, this is the text size. Okay, so maybe if I change it to just not stretch. I know there's some way to do this. Oh, I wanted to make the button not expand, not the text. Okay, well, anchor is already at the top right. Okay, so maybe it's this actual scroll view that I need to have a size fitter. Okay, that was not what I expected. Parent has layout group. Oh, I guess the content size fitter is a layout group. Okay, that's not right. Okay, so let's I guess I'll look it up real quick. Unity layout group expand to size of a button. Okay, well, it's telling me basically to do what I am doing. It says you want to have a vertical layout group controls size. So I want it to expand to the width, but I also... What were these at before? 30, I think? But I also want the buttons to be able to expand their size. Okay, so now we can see its width increased to the size of the text. So maybe I need to turn off the stretch and it'll work. Okay, because now the width is 278, and if I type more here, will it change? It does, okay. So that's what I want to happen. But the width of the button is still 10. Okay, min size is 0, unconstrained, doesn't do anything. So it doesn't mind the content size fitter here, but it doesn't like it on the button. So what if I increase the size of the button? Okay, it still doesn't change the content. And it actually... Oh, right. Oh, and it's 8 o'clock now, Storm. Okay, I didn't think this would take so long. Make the children of a layout group fit their respective sizes. If you have a layout group and want each of the UI elements in the group to fit their respective content... What do? You can't put a content size fit on it. Okay, this might be what we're trying to do. Isn't necessary. The parent layout group can already make each child fit the size of the content. What you need to do is disable the child force expand toggles. Okay. But then it doesn't do anything. Okay, maybe now I can do the content size fitter? No, it doesn't like that. Alright, Storm sounds good. It isn't necessary. A parent layout group can already make each child fit the size of the content. What you need to do is disable force expand toggles. The child are themselves layout groups too. You may need to disable the child. Alright. What if you want some of the children to expand to fill additional available space but not other? Children you want to expand. Minimum preferred and flexible. This doesn't seem like a strange thing to want to do. But this is obviously not the right thing to do. Okay. For some reason that did what I wanted, which is a little strange. Because I don't really need a whole horizontal layout group just for some text, but I guess if I wanted to add an image to this window, maybe let's try that. Okay, yeah, see, then it puts the image right in the front. That's kind of nice, actually. I'll just have a little temporary icon. And I guess I want the alignment to just be middle left. So now I want this content to expand to fit the children. Okay, that does something. Maybe I need to do that on the viewport. Let's try the content size fitter. Oh, it's because this scroll view has it. Doesn't have a layout group anymore, does it? Stability, auto hide and expand viewport. Alright. So when I press play, it does change a little bit. We can see that I can now scroll, but I don't really want. Okay, this is another thing I need to make sure that you don't move the camera if we're trying to interact with the interface. But I really want this to just expand, so maybe. Oh, that's the reason it doesn't. Yeah, I need to take away this horizontal scroll bar. Let's see. So if it's permanent, that just means it always shows. What about if I disable it? Oh, it won't even let me do that. What about if I delete it? Okay, no, that's not the right thing either. Oh, here. Take off horizontal. Oh, the scroll bar is still there, but it's not set up, I don't think. So I can delete this now. Okay, so we know that the content is now fitting the size of the button, so that is good. But I think it's the viewport. So what is this rectangle? What's this actually? Oh, that's the second button. Why is it being like that? Oh, I don't have a content size fitter on it. Or no, I need a horizontal layout group. Let's just actually just copy this. I'm not sure what all I added. Okay, but we'll have a short text here. The button is still really big. I guess it's because everything stretches. So yeah, that's okay. We don't want... Okay. Actually, where is... Oh, for some reason the width got set to 24. So for this short text button, I want the short text to not expand and take up all the space. Okay, and maybe this is the problem. Okay, so child control size. I should see exactly what that does. Layout element, if you want to override minimum. Okay, well that's good to know. Layout groups, so it doesn't... I guess I should look up horizontal layout group. That's not what it's called, is it? No, it is. It's gonna make me look it up in Google, I guess. Alright, so what I want to look is what these force expands do. But we have two buttons. Yeah, child controls and force expands. Why doesn't that show up? Okay, well anyway, whether to force children to expand to fill additional available space. So yeah, we don't want that actually. So we don't want it to fill width. But then when we do that, the button gets really small. Okay, so I guess we do want this. Okay, so what does child control size do and why does it not show up? See. Okay, I think it's new. I'm not sure what it does. It's kind of bad it doesn't show up in this documentation. Okay, maybe I can look here. Child control height returns true if layout group controls width of children. Okay. That's a little confusing. So basically, this is true, and then the layout group will control the width of the children. So let's see if that, yeah, that's shows up right here. So I guess we want that off because we want this to fit to the width of the button. Seems like there's got to be a better way to do this because I just want to look through and see which button has the biggest width, and then for all the buttons to expand to that width, and then the content also fit. But I don't want to work on the UI the entire stream. Alright, well, yeah, I guess let's come back to this. Because we can add buttons and we'll be able to click on them. So we can work on some more stuff until I figure out how to make it look okay. Alright, so sorry, that was my phone. Let's see here. So basically we'll have some message somewhere that will provide basically all the information that we need to display. Alright, so I'm looking for the play, and then the ability select screen. Alright, select ability manager. Okay, so right now I don't really want to do, like, I want to bypass the scripts or the Lua scripts because that's going to be a pretty complicated project, and for now I just want the buttons to just display the name of the ability, and we'll worry about whether the ability is actually usable or not in the future. So I'm trying to decide, should this class take care of that, or should we have some other class that the ability manager can, like, outsource its logic to? I guess we can start it here, and then it'll be easy to separate the code if I need to. Alright, actually it's getting pretty dark in here, so let me turn on the light. I'll be right back. Alright. Okay. So I think I'll have this message here, which will basically just be selectable abilities change. And this will pretty much be to trigger the interface to update. Alright, Storm. Thanks for stopping by. Oh yeah, you're gonna be gone for a while. Okay, we'll have a good time away. And have a good night as well. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Actually, it's claim message. Alright, thanks, Storm. I'll see you later. Okay, so right now I'll just assume it's going to be a play component. Okay, so this would be on selectable abilities change. We could be more explicit and just call this update selectable abilities or something, but Okay, and I think what I'll do is right here, when we enter in the choosability phase, I'll just call this right away. Normally we need to go and like build a list of currently selectable abilities. Alright, and then I also just thought, what about here. Will the game load for me? I think it should. So we kind of had this problem on the chess game where we needed separate logic to deal with, like mousing over a monster, or then it was a chess piece to see its possible moves, and then of course having the one that we currently have selected. But for now I'm just not going to worry about mouse over. I mean, I'll kind of keep it in the back of my mind, but we don't want to make things too complicated right now. I don't set it to anything I want to send it right now. But basically what we could do is have it send like an index for the monster ID, and then the interface would know whether to create two windows or something, but that's down the road. Okay, and then here we want to, we don't have to grab anything, we just need to subscribe to that message. So sub to message. Play. Right. I don't want to have to add that prefix every time. Selectable abilities change. Okay, and we'll just call this refresh list. Why is it not like that? Because this method does not exist yet. Alright, of course. Okay, so we'll need a prefab to create the button. Okay, since this is a mono behavior, we can just use a normal old serializable field. Or it's a serialized field. This will be the button prefab, and then we'll also want a reference to the UI parent. This is a rect transform, and it will be, I guess we'll just call it button parent. Alright, let's go ahead and add these right here. Should I get rid of this? Yeah. Oh, okay, I know what it's actually got. So this, we want the ability select window, and then we'll set the content as the button parent. And then let's just make a prefab real quick. Okay, I don't actually have a prefab folder yet. And we can just drag this button right over here. I'll call this ability select button. And then we can add that here. Alright, So now that's all set up. Okay, so we'll also want to keep a list of active buttons. Oh, we'll probably need a new class for this actually. And it'll be a mono behavior. Ability select button. Oh right, we have to set the namespace ourselves for this. Okay, and I'm not going to do anything here yet, except I'll have a set text, or how about we call it set name? Oops, that's not how you spell name. Okay, and then we'll have a list of these ability select buttons. Let's call it visible buttons. And if we wanted to be really efficient, we could have a cache here to store the select buttons that aren't visible. But I think I'll just create and destroy ones as we need, especially since this is only going to be temporary. Okay, so now we need to basically get a whole lot of different queries that we can get information about each ability. Maybe the easiest thing to do would be just to have a class that returns all information needed. It does. Well, no, because I want the ability select window to be able to do stuff be as self-sufficient as possible, so it would just get that information itself from the battle. Yeah, I think that's okay. So in order to do that, it needs the current selection scope, battle, although there are some things we won't be able to know for this. Like, for example, which abilities are usable, because we'll have to go through scripts. But yeah, since we're not doing that now, I think this will be okay. We might not even need this, actually. But anyway, yeah, I don't think I do, so I'll go ahead and delete it just so that we don't have some useless message. Yeah, you can see, because if we were making the chess game, we would basically, this message would be like, select window, visible, and then this class itself would have control over the text for each button and whether the buttons should be visible or not and everything. And that's kind of what I want to avoid because it was very messy. I don't know how many people remember the lobby code, but that was one of the big problems with it. Here's the scope. We can get component, or actually it's, yeah, in order to not confuse myself with the Unity components, I have a slightly different method name here. Oh, this technically should be get beluga component, but anyway, battle. battery status, never seen that before. Okay, that should be all, I think. Oh, except this is the ability scope. Alright, I'll go ahead and rename this. Oh, that's not how you spell it. Alright. Okay, and then what we actually need to do is just wait until the ability select phase begins. I think that'll work. I mean, I'm just deciding should... Well, obviously we'll need to have different windows, like I say, for mouse over and everything, but I think this will be okay. Because we know the window is going to be open whenever ability is chosen, and it'll be closed any other time, so I think this should work. Do we need to have a reference to the select phase, I wonder? No, we might as well since it's already here. Okay, so if select phase value equals int. So if we're in the choose ability, that means that we want to activate the window. So private rect transform. Guess let's call this window parent. Interestingly, I think if we're going to need to move where this object is in Unity, because if this, I guess it could just deactivate the scroll wheel, because if it deactivates the object that's on, then it will actually not receive any of those messages we just sent. So we can just do that. We actually don't need a rect transform. This is a game object. And then we want it to be hidden when the game first starts. So we'll do that. Except this is supposed to be true, of course. And then we'll also refresh the list. Okay. So now we're ready. So if we get the active monster, is battle monster, oops, little b battle. And a scope monster. And okay, so we know how many buttons we'll need. So buttons equals, yeah, because right now a monster can just always use any of its abilities. In the future, of course, there might be some that cannot be used. Although I guess they might still show up in this list, they just be grayed out or something. Yeah, so this might be fine. Might not need to change this logic. Alright, so if visible buttons count Oh, there's an easier way to do this. So basically, for each, if none buttons is greater than visible buttons, we need to create a button. But if the visible buttons is greater than none buttons, then we need to delete some. Okay, what am I trying to do here? So ni equals visible buttons count, and then if while I is less than none buttons, actually less than or equal. There's an easier way to do this. That's not so confusing. Okay, so if none buttons is greater than visible buttons count, then we can say for int I less than none buttons less than visible buttons count. Then we just add, we instantiate a new object from the prefab and add it to the list. I don't think we have to set the parent, the position or anything. It's going to just be button prefab. And the parent is the button parent. And then we get component for the ability button. What is it called? The ability select button. Alright, and then we gotta do the inverse of this. So if visible buttons is greater than none buttons, okay, so button equals, okay, let's do it this way. Int index equals visible buttons count minus 1 minus I. Then we'll get the button before we remove it from the list. And then we just gotta destroy it. So called game object destroy. Alright, now Unity will take care of that for us. Okay, so now we get to the fun part where we actually set the text. Int I equals 0, I less than none buttons. So again, we need to get the button from here. Oh, except I did this wrong. This should be index, not I. But I is okay right here. So button set name is database. So we don't have that yet. Get component game data. Okay, so first we need to get the ability index actually, or ID usually, and that is simply monster abilities I. And so we set database abilities ability ID dot name. Okay, so I think that's all. I think this will work. just how it is. I don't need to add anything else. Let's see. Of course it won't be pretty because this interface is still messed up, but alright. Come on, Unity, you can do it. Okay, we'll just delete those placeholder buttons. And now, okay, what's wrong? What's wrong with it? Variable window parent doesn't exist anymore. Oh, it's because I changed it to a game object. Okay, yeah, so this is okay. Okay, and now it's correctly invisible right now. But if I select this monster, it should pop up, and it does. But we got an error. The abilities list is empty. Did I not fill that part out? Okay, yeah, so I didn't even create this list yet. And apparently I didn't copy it over. Oh, that's right, because we only load abilities, but it doesn't actually set them to the monster yet. Okay. Not difficult to add. So we'll want to have a string of like possible, we'll just call it abilities. And in the final game, monsters won't be able to select all these abilities. In fact, they'll probably only be able to have 4 or so active in the game. Just like in Pokemon, of course. So now what I need to do, yeah, we'll need to copy that data into the game logic monster prototype. And it'll be a list of int. Okay, I'll just call it abilities. So the monster already has this. But what we want to do is we want to really just, for now, copy everything from the monster prototype into the monster. Just like we were doing with the stats. I think, yeah, we also need to copy the abilities from the monster prototype into the logic. So let's probably need the index. I less than mod data abilities. I guess I should make sure that the abilities aren't null. Should do that here as well. I might even want to throw an error here. Well, maybe not. A monster with no abilities or stats doesn't really make much sense, but I don't know, maybe it'd be useful sometime. Oh, and these are arrays, so they don't want to use the count field there. Okay, so now we're gonna need to so we already have an ability prototype map. I guess I can pass it along. Sure, so this is ability name map. Okay, so if I guess I'll do this string mod name equals mstat or mdata abilities I. Okay. And I don't want to, I need to convert this to uppercase, but first we should make sure it's not null. So monster prototype has undefined ability name. And so now we'll set mod name to itself, but to upper and variant. Okay, and int index. And then ability name map try get value. I guess we only need the upper variant for this part. Okay, so if this is false, that means that no ability was registered with this name, so we need to throw another error. Monster prototype. I guess I should call this null. It's not actually undefined. And then we'll want to pass the name here, so the mod authors will be able to see. I shouldn't use a string mod name here, that's kind of confusing. So let's say mod that's fine. Okay, but if it gets through here, then the index has been set. I still need to set something here so the game won't complain to me about using an uninitialized variable. Right, and then ldata, oops, abilities add index. So another thing that could happen here is we don't need to add a duplicate. So if ldata abilities contains index, has duplicate ability. I think that's pretty much the only errors that can happen. So I'm really conflicted if I should add an error here if there's no abilities. I think I should, because I can't really think of a reason why you'd want a monster to have no abilities. Okay. So that takes care of that, and now we need to go to the map generation scene and deal with saving and loading the abilities for the monster. Which I guess I need to add it here. So public string abilities. Okay, so where is this set? I always forget. Testing defaults creator. Okay, this is, oh, that's right. The other times it's just kind of like copied back and forth from the save file. Okay, so I want to put all the monsters I mean all of the abilities from the actual prototype. So monster abilities equals new. Save status. Oh no, it's a new string. Prototype. Abilities count. And really all I have to do is kind of copy the array. A is less than prototype. Abilities count. A plus plus. And then monster abilities A equals prototype. Oh, except this is... Yeah, the prototype has the abilities as indexes, and the save file will have it as names. So we need to create another little helper function here. It's actually pretty easy. Actually, it's really easy. All I have to do is call database abilities prototype ability a dot name. So I don't need helper function. Okay, so here we copy the stats. Oh, that's right. So I'll need to convert the name back to the index. I mean, I could just use what's already in the prototype, I guess. But I should make sure that they match up. Okay, so for each var ability name and save monster abilities. So I want to find ability of name. It's database abilities count. I should change this to I if I want to, I mean A if I want to keep these relevant. So let's find ability of name, ability name. Oh, I guess I don't have to really keep this around. I can just add it to the abilities list. There shouldn't be any errors there. This is just testing code anyway, so we don't have to worry about it too much. Okay, so now in the battle generator. Okay, so this is when you're loading a save file. It's basically, I should make sure it's not null here. Although if it is null, that would mean the monster had no abilities, so we throw an error, but... Okay, so now we need find ability index. Kind of, it's the same as I just did basically. Unknown ability. Okay, so so, and we'll just do the same thing, just add it to the monster list. Alright. And then, yeah, if monster.abilities count is 0, we should throw an error. Monster has no abilities. We can be more descriptive later. Okay, so now we save abilities to a file and read it from a file, so I think that's all we have to do. I guess we can test it out and see. Of course, we need to actually add an ability to our prototype mod file, so we'll do that. Abilities. String. I wish it would automatically close these. There's gotta be a better hex editor. Okay, so I think I just have the move ability. What's its name? It is move. Okay, and we don't want either monster to not have any abilities, because then we'll get an error. Let's see. Oh, of course, I need to get the ability name map. Which I think we have by now. Oh, okay, it's just called ability map, I suppose. Alright, there we go. You happy? It's still complaining to me. Oh, it just hadn't loaded yet. Alright, and so if we look in the debug here, the monsters should have abilities. Yeah, this element 0, of course. And okay, so that's the data. Let's look in the actual monsters and see. Okay, so the first monster has move, and oh, I did it backwards. The second monster has move, but so does the first, so that's good. And then the actual current monsters, okay, they're both 0. Alright, so we're all set up. And then if I click, okay, so there's still an error. Oh, I didn't create the visible buttons list, that's kind of important. Guess I didn't wait long enough. Okay, so it didn't set the text. It said something is null. What is? I wonder what. Oh, actually, I do. I know what. The button is null because the prefab does not contain that ability button script, which we need to edit that now. Let's clean this up, and we need a reference to the text object for the name. So private text Oops. And then I think it's just text equals name. Maybe I should change this to name text. Oh, it's still going to throw an error because I forgot to set the text here on the prefab. So there we go. Okay, so now we see move is up there. Of course, it's not very pretty at all. So the scroll view, the anchor's there, but why is the viewport not set correctly? Maybe because the pivot is not like... That didn't even change anything. Okay, it's not even letting me change these values. It's probably being set by the scroll view. Yeah, so the scroll view is what I need to fix. Maybe if this is 0, and then I set these pivots to 1. Yeah, that's... Okay, so that fixes that. At least it's all visible in the game. So I can click, but it doesn't do anything yet. Alright, so let's... I'll copy a component so that way when I exit the game I can just... paste. What is this red line? Huh. Okay, so now what we need to figure out with this UI is get it to stretch to be the width of the largest button, and at the same time get all the buttons to stretch to be the same width. I know there's got to be a way to do it. Maybe I have to set the width myself by iterating through the buttons, which I guess is possible, but it seems like it seems weird that you have to do that yourself. Do I fit to content? I think I tried this before and it just like messed up everything. Let's just see. Yeah, that didn't help. This is useless. Okay, so yeah, that's not it. I don't know, we'll just need to play around with it more. But I think, yeah, there's no reason to work on a whole lot because this UI is not going to be, as I've said, it's not going to be permanent. You just need to be able to select something, so. I think tomorrow then we'll start working on the scripts for the abilities, basically to see if an ability is usable or not. And then after that, we'll need to also use script to see which actions an enemy can take, or not enemy, any monster can take. So basically, let's say that this move ability just lets the monster move to any hexagon that's adjacent to it. So then once you click here, this would move, and then some indicators would pop up here. Then you could click on one, and then obviously that would be the movement you'd select. So that's controlled by mods. And then of course the final part is the mods actually control what the ability does, so we'll have to figure that out as well. So yeah, a bunch of Lua tomorrow probably. And with that, I think that will be it for today. It's time for me to end. So thanks everybody for coming by and watching, I really appreciate it. And thanks for putting up with me fiddling with this UI. I don't have a whole lot of experience with it. It seems very powerful, but I don't know how to get something as simple as stretching to the size of a button to work, but we'll get to it. But if you missed part of the stream and you want to catch up, I will upload this to YouTube. You can find a link in the description below. And of course you can follow me to be notified when I go live. Should be tomorrow around 7:30 or 8:30 Eastern. And I hope to see you there. Thanks again for watching. Bye bye.